Inside Teslas over the past few months, something so strange and secretive has been happening that even some company employees began to suspect that Elon Musk is preparing not just another version of Optimus, but a project meant to completely change humanity's understanding of robots. According to several sources connected to the Tesla AI division engineering team, access to the new prototype was limited to only a handful of people. Some teams worked on separate components without even understanding what exactly they were being created for. And only at the beginning of this month, when an internal demonstration took place in one of the closed pavilions near Gigafactory, Texas, did many employees see for the first time what inside the company is already being called the most ambitious project of Elon Musk's entire career. The project is the new version of Tesla Optimus Gen 3 Organic. And if insiders are to be believed, what they saw literally shocked everyone present. Several American technology publications, including journalists close to Tesla, have begun receiving leaks claiming that the company has radically changed its philosophy toward humanoid robot development. If earlier Optimus was perceived as an industrial assistant, a machine for factories, logistics, and heavy physical labor, now Tesla is supposedly focusing on a completely different concept. According to sources, Elon Musk gave engineers a new objective: to create the first robot in history that the human brain would stop perceiving as a machine. And this is exactly why the new Optimus received an extremely human-like design. Insiders claim that the new robot is covered with a special synthetic material that imitates human skin. And this is not just rubber coating, but a multi-layer structure with temperature adaptation, microtexture, and elasticity resembling real human muscles and skin. Some Tesla employees after the demonstration said that in person, the robot looks so unusual that the brain literally refuses to perceive it as a mechanism, especially in motion. According to eyewitnesses, when Optimus Gen 3 Organic turns its torso, moves its fingers, or picks up objects, it creates the impression of a living person, only without a face. And the absence of a face became one of the most discussed details of the new project. Instead of a human face, the robot still retains Tesla's signature black screen, which has already become the trademark of Optimus. But according to sources, this was done intentionally. According to one former company engineer, Tesla is deliberately avoiding a complete copy of a human face because it is specifically the face that triggers the uncanny valley effect, the state in which a person begins to feel anxiety near an almost realistic humanoid. Musk allegedly decided to keep the screen so that people would always understand they are looking at a robot rather than a human being. At the same time, however, the rest of Optimus's body is designed to resemble a human as closely as possible, so that the robot can naturally integrate into society. And this is where things become especially interesting. According to analysts from Morgan Stanley and several technological research centers, Tesla concluded that the main barrier to the mass adoption of robots is not technology and not even price. The main barrier is psychological acceptance. People are ready to interact with machines inside factories, but allowing a robot into their home and trusting it with children, elderly relatives, or personal safety is an entirely different matter. That is why Tesla supposedly decided to pursue the path of maximum social adaptation for the robot. Sources claim that inside the company there is a separate development direction called Human Integration Program. Its purpose is to ensure that Optimus is perceived by society not as a cold machine, but as something familiar. According to employees, Tesla engineers even studied people's reactions to the robot's movements, the speed of head turns, the position of hands during conversation, walking style, and interpersonal distance during interaction. The robot was trained to move in such a way that a human would instinctively feel calm around it. That is exactly why the new Optimus received completely redesigned hands. According to insiders, Tesla spent almost 2 years developing the robot's hands and fingers alone. Musk allegedly personally demanded a level of precision that would allow the robot to perform actions beyond the capabilities of most modern humanoids. For example, sewing fabric with a needle, assembling puzzles, carefully handling glass objects, preparing food, working as a medical assistant, and even performing micro-manipulations in laboratories. Some sources claim that during the closed presentation, the robot demonstrated several shocking scenarios. In one of them, Optimus assembled a children's construction set with incredible precision. In another, it tied shoelaces. But the moment that impressed Tesla employees the most was when the robot picked up an ordinary paper napkin and carefully folded it several times without damaging the material. For most modern robots, such actions are extremely difficult because soft and deformable objects require incredibly precise finger force control. According to insiders, Tesla is using an entirely new tactile sensor system in the new Optimus. Thousands of microsensors measuring pressure, temperature, and resistance are supposedly embedded beneath the synthetic skin. This allows the robot to literally feel objects. Some analysts are already calling this technology an artificial nervous system. But an even more important part of the project became the new artificial intelligence system. According to journalists close to xAI, the new Optimus will operate using a special version of Grok AI adapted for controlling a humanoid body. Tesla is reportedly focusing not on pre-programmed behavioral scenarios, but on real-time learning. The robot is supposed to observe humans and independently copy their actions. Essentially, Tesla is trying to create not just a robot, but a universal physical AI assistant. If neural networks previously existed only inside computers, now they are receiving a body. And according to Musk, this will become the next stage in the development of civilization. According to leaks, Tesla is already discussing scenarios in which Optimus becomes part of the daily lives of millions of people. For example, the robot could work as a caregiver for elderly individuals. In the United States, this is a massive problem because the population is aging while workers in the care sector are critically lacking. Optimus could help a person get out of bed, bring medications, call for help after a fall, and monitor health conditions. Another scenario involves firefighting and rescue operations. According to insiders, Tesla is actively testing the robot's resistance to high temperatures and smoke-filled environments. Musk allegedly believes that in the future, humanoids could enter burning buildings instead of humans. For this purpose, the company is developing heat-resistant materials and an autonomous navigation system for smoke conditions. In addition, Optimus is being considered as a future assistant for police and emergency services. However, inside Tesla, there is an understanding of how dangerous it would be to give robots excessive authority. That is why the company is trying to position Optimus primarily as a protector and assistant, rather than as a force-oriented machine. Some analysts believe Tesla is intentionally making the robot visually kinder and more human-like in order to avoid public fear. Because when people imagine a metallic android without emotions, most are more likely to feel fear. But if the robot looks almost human, moves smoothly, and speaks with a calm voice, the reaction changes. It is also interesting that Tesla is supposedly already testing Optimus in closed residential complexes for company employees. According to sources, several families in Texas received early versions of the robot for home testing. The robots assisted with cleaning, carrying objects, preparing food, and caring for children under the supervision of Tesla engineers. Officially, the company does not confirm this, but rumors about these tests have been circulating for several months already. Meanwhile, financial analysts are beginning to understand the scale of what is happening. According to experts from Wedbush and ARK Invest, if Tesla truly succeeds in creating a mass-market humanoid robot, the company's market value could expand to entirely new dimensions. Some estimates suggest that the humanoid robot market could eventually become larger than the automotive market itself. Elon Musk previously stated that Optimus could potentially become the most important product in Tesla's entire history. At the time, many people viewed those comments as just another loud statement from the billionaire. But now, after the new leaks, attitudes are beginning to change. According to sources, Tesla is already preparing separate production lines for assembling Optimus Gen 3 Organic. And this is reportedly not about limited production, but full-scale mass manufacturing. Inside Gigafactory Texas, special zones are supposedly being built where robots will assemble other robots. And this is exactly what Musk considers the key to dramatically lowering production costs. According to preliminary estimates, the basic version of Optimus could cost between $25,000 and $35,000. However, many analysts believe Tesla will use a different strategy, a subscription-based model. For example, people could pay a monthly fee and receive the robot as a service. Some insiders claim that Tesla is also discussing corporate versions of Optimus for restaurants, hotels, warehouses, hospitals, and airports. In that case, the robot could work almost around the clock, replacing several employees simultaneously. But alongside the excitement, fears are also emerging. Economists are already warning that the mass adoption of humanoids could eliminate millions of jobs, especially in logistics, service industries, and routine labor. According to some experts, humanity is standing at the threshold of the largest labor market transformation since the Industrial Revolution. According to sources, Elon Musk fully understands this risk. That is why he is allegedly actively discussing the idea of universal basic income as a future mechanism for helping society adapt to the age of robots. At the same time, inside Tesla, there is reportedly confidence that robotization can no longer be avoided. The only question is, who will become the leader of the new industry, the United States or China? And that is why a genuine technological race is now unfolding around Optimus. According to Asian media reports, Chinese companies are carefully monitoring Tesla's every move. Some analysts believe that Beijing already views humanoid robots as a strategic national-level technology. But according to experts, Tesla's greatest advantage is the combination of three technologies at once: artificial intelligence, batteries, and mass production. No other company currently possesses such a combination. That is why many analysts believe Optimus could become for Tesla what the iPhone once became for Apple. Not just another product, but a device capable of changing everyday human life. And the more leaks appear, the stronger the feeling becomes that the world is truly approaching a moment that until recently seemed like science fiction. Because if even half of the information about Tesla Optimus Gen 3 Organic turns out to be true, humanity will see for the first time a robot designed not for factory floors, but for full-fledged life among people. But what is most alarming for Tesla's competitors is that, according to insiders, Optimus Gen 3 Organic is only the beginning of a much larger project. Inside the company, there are supposedly already discussions about creating an entire ecosystem of humanoid robots in which different versions of Optimus will perform completely different roles. Some models are being created for heavy industry and construction, others for medicine, and others for home use. And it is precisely the home version that is currently generating the greatest interest among investors and technology analysts. Because for the first time in history, there is a possibility of creating a product that could potentially exist in almost every family. Essentially, Tesla wants to make robots as common and familiar as smartphones or automobiles are today. Sources claim that Elon Musk is personally insisting that the new Optimus should appear as natural as possible, specifically within a home environment. According to one engineer, Elon Musk constantly repeats the same phrase inside the company: robots should not look like an invasion of technology into the home. That is why Tesla's designers abandoned aggressive mechanical shapes, bright metallic surfaces, and exposed mechanisms. Instead, the company is focusing on smooth lines, soft materials, and movements that resemble human behavior as closely as possible. Essentially, Tesla is trying to create not a machine, but a new digital assistant for humanity. And this is no longer just about household functions like cleaning or cooking. According to leaks, Tesla is testing scenarios in which Optimus will be able to perform emotionally important tasks. For example, helping children with education. The robot will be able to explain mathematics, teach languages, read books, check homework, and even adapt its communication style to a child's personality. Some company employees claim that Tesla is already training AI to recognize human mood through voice and movement. In addition, the company is actively discussing the use of Optimus as a personal medical assistant. According to analysts, this could become one of the largest markets for humanoid robots. Imagine an elderly person living alone. The robot reminds them to take medication, monitors blood pressure, calls emergency services if necessary, and helps them move around the house. For many countries with rapidly aging populations, this could become a real salvation. But the public is currently discussing another side of the project more than anything else: how far Tesla is willing to go in humanizing robots. Because some insiders claim that the company is even experimenting with simulated breathing and micro-movements of the body while in standby mode. In other words, the robot does not simply stand motionless like a mannequin, but slightly moves its torso, creating the illusion of a living presence. According to sources, this is being done so that humans feel psychologically more comfortable around the machine. This very issue has already triggered enormous debate among artificial intelligence ethics experts. Some believe Tesla is going too far and attempting to erase the boundary between humans and machines. Others, on the contrary, are convinced that this is exactly what the future of robotics should look like. Because if humanoids are truly meant to become part of society, they must learn to interact with people as naturally as possible. It is also interesting that, according to journalists, Tesla is allegedly consulting psychologists, neurobiologists, and even specialists in human behavior. The goal is to understand which details of appearance and behavior inspire trust in people. According to sources, the company conducted closed tests in which volunteers communicated with different versions of Optimus. The results turned out to be extremely unexpected. People began trusting the robot much faster if it moved smoothly, slightly tilted its head during conversations, and made small natural pauses before answering. Essentially, Tesla is building not just a robot, but a new form of human interaction with artificial intelligence. Some analysts are already calling this the beginning of the era of physical AI. If neural networks previously existed only inside smartphones and computers, now they are beginning to appear next to humans in the physical world. Elon Musk, judging by the leaks, considers this an inevitable stage in the development of civilization. According to sources, inside Tesla, he has allegedly repeatedly stated that within 15 to 20 years, the number of humanoid robots could exceed the number of people on Earth. Although this sounds like science fiction, many investors are beginning to take such statements increasingly seriously, especially after it became known how quickly Tesla is advancing in battery development and energy efficiency. According to insiders, the new Optimus will be able to operate significantly longer without recharging than previous versions. The company is actively using technologies developed for Tesla electric vehicles, including new battery cells and intelligent energy distribution. Moreover, sources claim that the robot will receive a self-learning system through the Tesla AI network cloud. This means that if one robot learns how to perform a new task, this experience can be shared with other Optimus units around the world. In essence, millions of robots will learn from each other in real time. And this idea is now causing both excitement and concern among experts. Because for the first time, humanity may face a situation where a vast network of humanoid machines begins evolving at an extremely rapid pace. Some specialists already compare this to the emergence of the internet in the 1990s, only the consequences could be even more significant. At the same time, Tesla fully understands that society is not yet ready for such a future. That is why the company, according to rumors, is preparing the largest PR campaign in its history. Sources claim that Tesla plans to present Optimus not as a threat to jobs, but as a helper to humanity. In advertising concepts, the robot assists firefighters in rescuing people from fires, saves children after earthquakes, works in hospitals, and helps people with disabilities. According to analysts, this is a very smart move because the main fear of society is that robots will replace humans. Tesla is trying to reshape this perception before mass production begins, and apparently, the company is confident that the launch of Optimus will be a moment that changes the entire technology industry. Some Tesla employees compare what is happening to the launch of the first iPhone, only this time it is not a smartphone, but a machine capable of physically interacting with the world. According to insiders, the official unveiling of Tesla Optimus Gen 3 Organic may take place within the next few months at a dedicated Tesla AI Day event. Moreover, Musk allegedly wants to stage the presentation in a highly unusual way. Sources claim that the company is testing a scenario in which dozens of humanoids will simultaneously walk onto the stage without human escort and independently perform complex actions in front of thousands of viewers. Some Tesla employees say that even inside the company, many were shocked by the level of realism in the new robot's movements. One source told journalists that during the demonstration, he at one point simply forgot that he was looking at a machine. And this, perhaps, is the most important signal of how close humanity is to a new technological era. Because just a few years ago, humanoid robots were seen as expensive toys or exhibition experiments. Today, however, the world's largest companies are already beginning to view them as the future foundation of the economy. If Tesla truly becomes the first to bring such a technology into mass production, the consequences could be enormous. The labor market will change, medicine will change, education will change, everyday life itself will change. That is why there is so much noise, speculation, and leaks around Optimus Gen 3 Organic. People sense that this is no longer just another robot. It is an attempt to create a new technological inhabitant of human society. And the more information emerges about the project, the stronger the feeling becomes that Elon Musk is once again trying to do what was considered impossible not long ago. First electric cars, then reusable rockets, then artificial intelligence, and now a humanoid that looks almost like a human, moves almost like a human, and may one day become as common in everyday life as smartphones or the internet. And perhaps the most important question right now is not whether Tesla will be able to build such a robot. It seems that the company is already very close to achieving it. The real question is whether humanity itself is ready for the arrival of machines that will be so similar to humans. Because for the first time in history, this is not just about labor automation. It is about creating a new form of artificial intelligence presence alongside humans. Elon Musk, according to insiders, fully understands the historical scale of what is happening. That is why the Optimus project inside Tesla is described not just as a new product, but as a transition into the next phase of civilization. Some company employees claim that after closed demonstrations, conversations within Tesla began to suggest that within 10 years, the world will no longer be imaginable without humanoid robots. And if even a fraction of the current leaks are true, then Tesla Optimus Gen 3 Organic could go down in history as the first robot that stops being perceived as a machine and becomes a fully integrated part of human society.